You are listening to the Archaeology Podcast Network.
Welcome to Profiles in CRM, episode 28. I'm your host, Chris Webster. Profiles in CRM asks CRM professionals 8 simple questions. The answers vary wildly depending on their experience and education. Because of the nature of contract archaeology and how small this field really is, some people choose not to reveal their name or the company they work for. Stay to the end of the show to hear how you can have a chance to answer these same questions. Okay, here's the first question on profiles. What is your name and who do you work for?
My name, Jose Jimenez.
How did I know you were going to say that?
My name is Dr. Alan Garfinkel Gold. I go by Alan Garfinkel in archaeological circles. And my legal name is Alan Gold, as it turns out. And I work now for a rather small boutique environmental firm called Ultra Systems Environmental. And they're headquartered in Irvine, but they have a number of satellite offices throughout California. They only have about 60 employees. They've been around about 25 years.
Okay, and how long have you been working in CRM?
40 years plus.
It's the plus that really gets you.
I began doing CRM almost from the moment I got into college at Cal State University Northridge. It was timed with sort of the unveiling of environmental law, which of course was rolled out, the CEQA, the NEPA period, especially in California, along with sort of the pioneers of Tom King and Mike Morato and all of that. And there was these new laws that people had to comply with, and they needed a cultural resource management. They didn't even call it back then. They just wanted an archaeological survey to see if they had anything on their property. And so we set up a research unit. It was the 60s, so we called it the Northridge Archaeological Research Center. It was at Cal State University Northridge, and the letters to that stand for NARC.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. So again, these questions, first ones are designed to set the stage for what you're doing right now. So what is the position you usually have in CRM right now?
Cook and bottle wash. I've done everything and anything. Often I'm principal investigator. I'm a project manager. Mm-hmm. I'm the staff archaeologist, principal archaeologist. I sometimes, oversee projects, manage projects, find projects and get the projects, cost them, make sure that we can do them within budget, hire people, fire people. What else? I act as a liaison, and some of the best things I love to do is work with Native Americans and help them or find ways to serve them. I've trained Native Americans, teaching them how to do Native American monitoring, and then teaching them what the archaeological discipline is all about. I've also taught them about their own background in terms of their indigenous rights and Native American heritage elements. And I guess that's what I really enjoy. I do a lot of writing and researching, and that's one of my greatest strengths in terms of assisting at putting out these unbelievably lengthy tomes. And when I say that facetiously in some way, but your average cultural resource report is hundreds of pages long, and I think the shortest one I've had is 50 to 100 pages, and the longest one is that recent one I did, which was just shy of 3,000 pages. So
nice. All right, and in what states have you worked in?
California, Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico, Baja California. Where else? I think that's about it in terms of states. Mm-hmm. In terms of countries throughout the world, I've done survey work or identified cultural resources and did that in Mexico, Israel, and Siberia, besides the United States.
Okay, and here are the fun questions.
Okay, I'll have to take an A, Vanna.
What is the best thing that's happened to you that's related to being an archaeologist? If you weren't an archaeologist, this thing would not have happened. And it can be anything from professional, personal, what have you.
What's the best thing that happened to me being an archaeologist? I don't know. I like the opportunities to work with things that are outside the box, sort of, unconventional things. I guess one of my more one of my more favorite things was to do this documentary film that's now being aired. That's good. Um, but I also love the ability to get my mind around a data set like rock art, understand the archaeology of a region, work with native people and try to assist them in their passion to be recognized and acknowledged and find some way to revitalize their ancient cultures. So all of that really sings my spirit.
These next two questions were sort of lost to the digital ether, so I will read them and then summarize Alan's responses. The next question was, what is the biggest thing you would change that would make being a CRM archaeologist better? And Alan mentioned a few things that other people have mentioned in the past, but basically one of those is having more visibility on archaeological research. We have a lot of reports, a lot of great literature, and enough of that is just simply not visible to a lot of people. So publishing your results, getting your information out there, and being in the public view and doing public presentations and things like that whenever possible. And I also asked him what his career goal was in CRM, and he wants to write more. He wants to publish more. He wants to. He has owned his own firm. He's been a PI in big, massive firms. He's a PI now, so he wants to do what a lot of archaeologists do in the latter parts of their careers, which is basically sit down and do some research, do some writing, and do some publishing, and just focus on the stuff that they got into this business for. So the final question was, if you could give an undergrad thinking about CRM one piece of advice, what would it be? Well, he started off, I've got the end of it here, but I'll kick it off. He started off saying that basically focus on something during your undergrad. Focus on, or grad school even. If you're in, do a research paper, do something and become an expert in that. And he talks about the importance of scholarship and understanding something really well and kind of making that your wheelhouse. So I'll let Alan continue now.
Mike Morato helped me with defining what that was, and that's to study long and hard on a single subject and really understand that subject thoroughly and be able to share that in an academic platform. And I think that's remarkably good advice and something that may be sorely lacking for a number of our professional colleagues.
Show notes for this and all episodes can be found on the Archaeology Podcast Network website at www.archaeologypodcastnetwork.com/profiles. At that page, you'll also find a form that you can fill out so you can be interviewed on the show. Interviews take less than 30 minutes and you don't need any special equipment. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the field.
This has been a presentation of the Archaeology Podcast Network. Visit us on the web for show notes and other podcasts at www.archaeologypodcastnetwork.com. Contact us at chris@archaeologypodcastnetwork.com.